in my past, I've reviewed cars that were unregistered or uninsured. Or there was one that I reviewed that was brought in from Japan in a shipping container that was for musical instruments, and it was shoved in the back. And then
so it was a musical instrument. You were driving around a piano.
Oh,
yes.
VQ35, I got you.
Yes.
A trumpet.
Trumpet, yeah. How come you always zip up your pants when you get off the Moto Compacto?
I love that thing,
that's a joke about having sex with a motorcycle that has a vagina. It's a book about a dude that gets a motorcycle that has a vagina, and so he has sex with it, but he can't let anyone else in the biker gang find out because then they'll want to have sex with it.
I got a question for you. Are you allowed to board just any flight, or are you on some type of list?
I don't fly commercial.
See this pack of dope, that's 100 grand.
So do you edit these down?
Yeah, usually what we do is we stream for 2 hours, and then that'll get cut down quite a bit.
Because I was looking at your videos, and I'm like, this has to be one of the longest videos they've ever done.
Nah, I chop them up.
Dude,
Yeah,
we'll go
gotcha.
for
Okay.
4 hours and cut it down, you know?
Yeah, we won't force you to sit through this for 4 hours, but...
No, you're good.
All right, so the Checker cab here, the Checker A12 Marathon, a forgotten American icon.
Yeah.
Is this the same one that the Checker cabs were?
Yeah, so Checker was a company in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They were the engine is from a Chevy, I think. The steering box was from Chrysler. It was a whole bunch of stuff kind of thrown together, but they just made cabs. Ever since the 20s, they just made cabs, but then they started to do some civilian models here and there. They're incredibly rare, super, super rare. To the point where there actually was a station wagon too. But yeah, this was one of the civilian models, so it didn't have the partition. And I'm trying to think of the other differences. It didn't have holes in the roof for the little cab light, things like that. So
No glory hole.
No, not on this one. Although maybe the owner put one in. Yeah.
That Reba McEntire shit really threw me off here. Damn, there were a couple super chats on there that I didn't read. Do you still have the old chat up by any chance?
I do not.
I don't either.
Sincere apologies.
Okay, no, look, here's what we do. If you super chatted and it didn't get read, super chat again, and I'll read it.
What a great plan. What do you think the weirdest thing you've ever reviewed is?
I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge. The Wartberg 1.3 was definitely odd. That's a car that I don't think I've ever talked to someone that actually knew what it was.
Yeah, I've never heard of this thing.
So is a car built in East Germany, obviously not during the war, behind the Iron Curtain, so communist Germany.
Okay.
And this was
communist.
was the if you were a doctor, if you were a lawyer, you could afford or get something like this. So the Trabant, which I have a video of the Trabant coming out, I think later this week, that was for the everyman. This was if you had a little bit of status. It wasn't quite like a Volga, but it was sort of a mid-range car. It was a 4-stroke car. So that was a big deal at the time, where the Trabants were still just 2-stroke motors.
The Volga, real quick, is the Russian, the communist Russia, baller car, right?
Yeah. That's the head of state, rolls around in a Volga.
Gotcha.
This was you're a little bit higher status, a little bit higher rank in the community. It had 4 doors. Trabants were only 2 doors. But this is one of the cars that whenever I say Wartberg 1.3, no one knows what's going on.
If you were a worker, you could only have a coupe. They wouldn't.
Basically.
Damn.
Yeah, basically. I'm trying to think of other weird stuff. I did a Daimler 66, which is a V12 Jaguar, but it was sold as a Daimler. That was a weird one. Yeah, it was right-hand drive. It was freshly imported. It had been imported, I think, 3 days before I drove it. That was a really, really weird one.
Just a rebadged XJ8 or something?
Basically, but it had
XJ12.
a V12. Yeah.
Okay, XJ12.
So this is when Jaguar was trying to kind of do a high-end brand. Daimler was supposed to be the Rolls-Royce of their sort of family. It was very strange. Mm. That was a weird one. I mean, I'm sure there's ones that I'm just not thinking of.
Yeah,
but that's
sure.
what comes
to mind. Is that
to
your
mind.
OnlyFans? No, that's his link tree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just where you can submit your car. Basically, that's all that website does anymore.
Oh yeah, but if you want to drive a Turbo Baja or
I'd be down
Silvia,
for a Turbo Baja
or a Turbo Silvia.
You ever driven an S13 Sylvia?
Ooh, I have not done a Sylvia, no. I've done the
What?
Skylines, but I don't think I've done I've done a 180 SX.
Oh, this doesn't count, dude.
What?
No.
A GTT?
Yeah.
Have you done a GTR?
I have not done a GTR, no.
Oh man. Wait, so you do have some holes to fill yet? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, and that's the thing is that like my parents ask me, they're like, "What happens when you've reviewed every car?" And I'm like, "That's impossible. I'm never ever gonna do it." But
Right.
I just like that someone commented, "I would not let this guy review my car. He'd get Cheeto fingers all over the door and interior." Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right.
And
Yeah. What do you want? Like,
Yeah. No Sylvias, no 180 SX yet.
I did a 180. I did an S13 180.
Okay.
This was years and years and years ago. Shout out to Nico with this car.
Let's see what you've had in the last week. What have you uploaded?
Oh, jeez.
Your life is chaos. I can't stop hammering on this. Your life is insane,
No, it
dude.
is.
All right, so we got Bug versus Hawk.
I filmed that yesterday. That was an experimental video, and it did all right. The Gremlin was fun. That was in Denver. That was a Levi's edition, so the entire interior is denim.
Sick. Sick
This
as
dude,
Jay Leno interior.
well, first of all, this car is a legit museum piece. Like, it was pulled out of a museum. I filmed it, and then it went back into a museum. But yeah, it's literally it's fake denim, but the buttons are real. And that was just one of the options that you could go with back in the 70s.
the old Canadian tuxedo, yeah.
Yeah.
No, little E cringe.
You a Levi's aficionado?
I have a big E Levi's denim jacket.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about Silver Tab. I don't know if you know about that.
Silver Tab's old school, dude.
You're pulling things out of museums to drive around. That's pretty f***ing cool.
Yeah, that guy was super, super nice. And
I saw you
filmed
riding the Moto
4 of his
Compacto.
cars that day. What's up?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were riding the Moto Compacto, but it just shows up.
I have a full video of it. That's so weird. That's where I'm sitting right now. Honda actually personally invited me out to ride it at this, like, just in a parking lot, essentially.
Sick.
But it
How
was
come
like
you
a
always
press
zip up your pants
event.
when you get off the Moto Compacto? It's
Yeah, there it
weird.
is. I love that thing.
that's a joke about having
Very-
sex with a motorcycle that has a vagina.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Oh, I thought you meant because the seat was going somewhere, but sure. All right.
Yeah, it's a book about a guy. The guy that wrote the book is named Horny Man Travis,
Yeah.
and it's a book about a dude that gets a motorcycle that has a vagina, and so he has sex with it, but he can't let anyone else in the biker gang find out because then they'll want to have sex with it.
That is the summary of the book. Yes.
I got a question for you. Are you allowed to board just any flight, or are you on some type of list? You
I don't
got to
fly
be on
commercial.
something, right? Okay.
I don't fly commercial.
Okay. All right. Fair.
He says
But
he
yeah,
doesn't like the ears pop, but that's not why.
Yeah, this Moto Compacto was. I want one of these real bad.
Oh shit!
I
They
kinda
made you
want one
autocross
too.
it.
Yeah, they set up an autocross thing, which is funny because A, I exceeded the weight limit by 5 pounds. And B, they're like, oh, the top speed is 15, but because I was on it going downhill, I got it to do 17.
Yo.
So I'm basically over boosting the Moto Compacto.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, does the bottle?
Oh,
Oh shit!
barely.
See? It's a big
See,
deal,
they
ladies
took your
and gents.
advice.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the exact dimension that the hole in the Moto Compacto
They knew I
has
was
to
coming.
be.
They emailed me months before they had me out. So they knew I was showing up. The only other scooter I've done is I did a Honda Gyro, funny
Yeah.
enough, from the same guy that had the Moto Compo.
Those 3-wheel things.
Yeah. No, I think it was a 2-wheel scooter. Oh yeah, it is 3 wheels. I totally forgot. See, that's the thing is I sometimes there's a little K truck in the background. Someone just said in the chat, Polaris Slingshot review when? I've reviewed 3 Polaris Slingshots. So
Yo.
they actually flew me out to LA, put me up in a 5-star spa for a night so I could drive the new manual one.
No way.
Damn.
It was the coolest 24
so
hours of
fucking
my
based.
life.
That is pretty sick.
So they flew
We
me
got to
out
be on
one
some.
day.
We have to be on some kind of do not contact list. I'm sure because we're too raw.
That's the one I filmed this one down in Miami. This is a different one, but yeah, I know the Polaris reps, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to drive the new Slingshot with the manual transmission out in LA?" And I was like, "Yeah." So they flew me out one night, stayed a night in a spa, took me out to dinner. Next morning, drove around LA in a Slingshot, and I was on the plane home by 5 p.m. So it was literally 24 hours, and I was back home, essentially.
Oh, that kind of sucks, though.
It was cool, though, because I was like, I got to film sweet content. And then also, they gave me the Slingshot, and they're like, just drive it around for 6 hours. Like, just take it around LA. And I'm like, the heck am I going to do with this thing for 6 hours?
Did they give you a giant... Did they give you a giant Bluetooth speaker so you could play your music like to everyone else?
No, it was outfitted with the upgraded sound system. But they gave me $100 gift card for food, and I was like, how can you spend $100 in 6 hours on just food?
That's like a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk in California, dude.
Yeah, in LA, that's fair. So I actually ended up just not eating, and I bought my girlfriend a sweatshirt.
Oh, based.
Nice.
I didn't know what to do in LA, so I have an email submission where like people send me their cars, so I just typed in LA and emailed some people. I'm like, hey, I'm here in LA. Do you want me to film your car? And 2 people said yes. So
and you pulled up in a Slingshot?
I pulled up in the Slingshot, reviewed their cars, and then brought the Slingshot back and was like, oh, thanks so much. And then went on my merry way. So
damn, all on Polaris's dime. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm hoping to do that a little bit more, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
but
see, that's the Sigma grind set, dude.
Yeah.
It's some type of mindset for sure. I don't know if it's I don't think it's good or healthy, but yeah. This guy kind of gives me young gay John Candy vibes. Thank you.
Aw.
That's the same guy that said the Cheeto fingers. Man, this guy has it out for me, huh?
Yeah, he's after you, man. He wants you. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
Bro doing side quests in a side quest. You got to stay entertained somehow. But yeah, the Slingshot, those are weird. I actually don't mind driving them, but why would you spend $30,000 on a car you can drive twice a year here in the Midwest?
Yeah, and yet you see them constantly.
My thing too.
You do see them all the time.
With Slingshots and with the side-by-sides.
Why wouldn't you buy a used Miata, though?
Or instead of a side-by-side, a fucking XJ Cherokee.
Yeah, the side-by-side thing makes absolutely no sense to me. And I was just in a side-by-side earlier today, and I guess it made sense in that.
They're cool. They're cool as but they cost $30,000.
I reviewed one down in Arizona 2 years ago. It was a Kawasaki side-by-side. And that made sense because it was my friend who bought a house and rented the house out on Airbnb. And this was like one of the perks. Like if you paid like an extra $200 a day, you could use the side-by-side out in the Arizona desert.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Okay, yeah.
But literally any other circumstance, I do not get it.
Yeah, just
someone
get
commented,
a Wrangler.
Yeah, someone asked, would I accept a review of an active police car? I don't think that that's allowed.
Yeah.
Although I have been offered, someone from Louisiana just said, hey, I'm a detective. If you'd like to review my detective's car. And I'm like, that can't be allowed. I've also been offered an Amazon truck again, in use, and I was like, there has to be some type of limitation that does not allow me to do that because there's no way.
Yeah,
dude, go drive that Rivian truck, see what's up.
Oh, dude, I want to drive that Rivian truck so bad.
John Buck99 Neckgear got me addicted to gambling.
Oh,
how'd you do that?
I don't know. I get blamed for a lot of shit, though.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the evidence is staggering.
Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money.
If you're watching this right now and you are a web developer and you can work in WordPress, hit me up, collectorcarfeed@gmail.com, but you have to know WordPress. There's so many different platforms, there's so many different front ends and back ends that you could use, and that makes it kind of difficult.
You're so nasty, dude. You're dirty.
Yeah, my bad, dude.
The chat is everyone hating on WordPress, and then one guy named John going, have you ever wanted to review a newer Suzuki Jimny or Toyota Hilux? Just love that that's getting broken up. Yes,
we're talking about WordPress, both, okay?
The newer one's cool, though. There was a guy in Chicago that had a newer one, and I messaged him, and we were trying to figure out a date, but then he moved back to Mexico, and we never filmed it, so.
Damn it.
Yeah. The newer Hiluxes, I've seen them in Dallas because people, drive them over the border and work in Dallas, and they're super cool. I'd love to do that, but filming out of the country is just such a headache that it's something I aspire to do, and I will do at some point. It's just there's a lot of red tape that goes into it that I need to figure out.
No, just fucking ride dirty, dude.
Yeah. You only live
It's
once,
not
dude.
even
They
that,
ain't
it's
gonna
just like-
catch you, dude.
Well, but there's like countries that have like public filming laws. Like you're not allowed to film in public. There's, you know,
You're in,
I would
you're
need
out,
an
man.
international driver. Yeah, it's true. I mean, to be fair, I have in my past, I've reviewed cars that were unregistered or uninsured or
Ooh, naughty,
there was
naughty.
one that I reviewed that wasn't even registered in the United States. It was brought in from Japan in a shipping container that was for musical instruments, and it was shoved in the back. And then
So it was a musical instrument. You were driving
Yes.
around a piano.
Oh,
Yes.
VQ35, I got you.
Yes.
A trumpet.
Trumpet. Yeah.
Nah, dude, f them. You get your footage, you get back to America, they can't touch you.
I don't know if that's how that works, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
look,
please do. Please
look,
do.
We'll get an airplane. We'll fly to Colombia.
Done deal.
We land in a grass strip, record the and then we leave on the grass strip.
Yeah, and we fly under the radar.
We fly
literally.
real low to the, you know.
We'll make a Narcos-style documentary,
Yes.
but it's
I think he's
instead of
describing
drugs,
Blow. Picking up
it's
what I'm putting
actually
down.
just me wanting to drive a 10-year-old Toyota pickup truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't?
It's a little different of a plot, but we can make it happen. Someone asked, what is my favorite generation of Civic Si? Probably like the mid-2000s. I like those
The EP3?
a lot. I've never driven an EP3. That is one of the few Civic SIs that has escaped my grasp.
That's
Really?
And
what I
I've
want.
always, I had a buddy with one, and I wanted to film it, but then our other buddy with a lifted XJ backed over it, like backed
What?
over it, like drove over the car. Which video is this one? I'm trying to think.
This one says that it's your favorite generation
07?
of SI.
Oh.
Yeah, so an 8th gen?
Yeah, that's my favorite gen. Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
He
Here it
may
is.
have embellished a bit.
No, that actually is my favorite because it's modern enough, but it's still light enough and not super tech heavy. I don't like the new 1.5 turbos. I'm hoping Honda said that they were going to send me the new Type R at some point in the fall, so we'll see how
What?
that goes. But
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this one's got 173K on it already. Nice.
I did one with 225 on it. I think the only thing
Wow.
that had been done was the clutch and the rear brakes.
Man.
Yeah.
They
a
came from the
Honda.
factory with 150, so
Yeah, that's true.